Hi, in this video, in this session, I will go over how I create a website. My website, I just called it findyourtext.com. And this website's purpose is to host a machine learning model. And the best machine learning model out there for language comprehension is BERT, BERT, like Sesame Street, Bert and Ernie. And this model can do really well on this test called Squad, and also on this test called Glue. And in this particular video, I'll focus on the Squad answering capability. So the command would be just run underscore squad. And in order to get here, we have to first have a Google Cloud. And in the IAM, you would have to increase the GPU quota from 0 to 1. And then you're asking, how do I get a GPU on Google Cloud? And so within your VM instances, you can connect via SSH. And this instance, you can see it has high memory, so it has 13 gigabytes RAM, which is we need something like that in order to run. So I used a branch off of BERT called CDQA, so I need at least that much RAM to run it fast enough. And you can see, so I'm okay with showing all my internal IP because I'm really just pulsing this account. I only turn it on to demo and I turn it off immediately afterwards. So there's really no security risk. It's a prototype that I built to understand more about how to host a machine learning model. And there's a lot of things you can do, such as like upload and download onto G-Cloud. And I use WinSCP, which is right here, WinSCP. And this takes a while. There are very good tutorials on WinSCP, so you just have to make sure your username is matches what you're logging in with and logging at the external IP, and then you just have to set up a public key so that both your local and the server are synced. And then so right now I'm going to restart my Django server because it's been a while. So I'm going to first do screen. This allows us to run things in the background, and then I'm going to, so the way I did this was a little bit messy because this is just a prototype. Usually I would use the Docker and I wouldn't have it all in the root directory. And let's do, so right now I'm opening the Python virtual environment for 3.7. So you can see system version, okay, Python version, okay. Anyway, so this is Python 3.7, and then we just go to the place where I store the website, the Django website, and then we do sudo 3.7 manage.py, and let's run a server on port 80. Alright, so then, and then it should take a while to run. And so this all started, after I was laid off, I decided that I wanted to research Google Cloud Console. And within Google Cloud, I was researching how do I have different Docker images, and how it's okay. So this has finally finished running, and let's just do Control A, Control D, and then let's just see if the site runs or not. So let's go to like an incognito, so there's no cookies or anything, and let's just go findyourtext.com, and it works. So this is what this is the machine learning model that we hosted here. And then let's just say, let's ask it a question. Are we interested in learning more of the back end? And then we just say, I am interested. And I say we are interested. And this is, this basically just finds the text span. So it would not say yes. It will say like something like, we are interested. It would just copy and paste the segment that is of interest to this language. And so I would have to go into the code. So the code, so I had synced everything with WinSCP, and so it's all in this file here called GCP sync, and so it's also in the GitHub, which I haven't. Let me just look in the GitHub. My GitHub is pretty empty, but if you look in this one here, I kind of commit on the master branch, which is a no-no, but again, this is just a small project, and you want to be able to, so usually you want to go straight to the views. Let me just turn on my Visual Studio Code. It should be in here, views, and HTML. Because the in Django, it's I would recommend, if you don't know Django, to watch a tutorial video on Django. There's a lot of them out there, but I feel like the best way to learn was just to find a video that had a result that I wanted, or something similar that I could customize, and then just follow that like step by step. Of course, then you can add in some of the details later. So in Django, it's a model view template type of hierarchy, type of architecture, and the view can talk with the model, and it can also talk with the template. So the view is where most of the logic is at, and then HTML. Let's just see where the HTML is at. So let's see. So it should be in templates, and then we have index.html. So the HTML is a template that I got from template.co, and there's a lot of different templates out there. I would just look through them, and they offer a lot of different options. So everything was done. This literally only took me 20 minutes because I just have to replace some of the stuff within this template. Except for Django, you have to make sure that everything is changed. Like Django uses a lot of these curly bracket % signs. So just remember, like whenever you encounter difficulty, to curly bracket % sign in some command, and then you'll be able to overcome that obstacle. So here's a lot of commented out text. So yeah, that's the HTML. Now let's look at the view. So we're kind of looking at it backwards, but because we're looking at the end result first, so we look at the views, and then we look at the model. The model is right here. So if you take a look at it, we imported something from CDQA called the BERT processor, and this is really good because this converts it in the JSON file that Squad accepts. And so you can just put in, so I use the data frame, and you can just input in like the query and paragraph in their respective positions, and then by using like the fit transform function, you can create the examples, and then you can use the BERT model, which I just loaded in with joblib. I just loaded in joblib, and then you can use that to predict based on the parsed out data. So what CDQA does is really nice. It just does a permutation of the data into a format that the BERT model accepts. And then we have the these are basically different renders. So it would just call the same page over again, but with the answer input in. So it would just return the same HTML, but with your answer now input it into the HTML. So the view and the HTML, they talk really closely. And then yeah, I think this covers everything here. The other thing that was very interesting was being able to send emails whenever a person clicks this button here, this send message here. Now I had already deactivated my Google Suite, so I can't demo this to you. But to do this, you just have to go into settings. So Google Suite costs like $6 a month, and you do get your own email address. And the instructions, the documentation is actually very clear on Google. Like right now, their phone support isn't very good, but their documentation, written documentation, it would literally go through every single scenario. So I use HostGator, but it would literally go through every single provider that you have. So, and there's a documentation for each one. So, and then let's see. So I have to remember to disable the OAuth too. And if you don't use Google Suite, you have to do that too. So you can turn on the less secure app access so that you can send emails. So this is the part you insert in to do the email. So you do, my host was Gmail. I believe there's probably other hosts, probably better hosts out there. But I prefer to do everything in Google because I just wanted to test out their range of products, and it was really good. Their products were amazing. It was just slightly pricey because if I were to use a GPU server, that costs $300. The cheapest GPU is $300. The K80 is $300. And even if you do like a 3-year commitment, which is amazing, 3-year commitment, it lowers the cost by almost 90%. So usually a committed use only lowers by 50%, but in the 3-year K80 case, you actually go from $390 to just $39. But it's still a lot. It adds up every month paying $39. You could make it even smaller. I use high memory, so that's why it's $39. But if you use one CPU, it could go down to 15. One CPU standard can go down to $15, which is still a lot to be paying for a server. Like you would have to be getting a lot of use out of it all right, so this is how I did the email password, and I hid all my password, username and password within the environment variable. So I first hid it within, I use from.environment, this package, to load in this environment package, and it has all my environment variables within it. So it has all my secret key, it has my email host user, email host password, and then so this way, whenever you press the submit button, it would be able to send the email out. So, and yeah, I think this covers kind of everything that has gone on with this project. And in the end, we have something that it looks pretty decent for like a business website. Thank you for your time, and if you have any job openings that is front end, any software developer job, I'm very interested in helping out. Thank you.